Okay, this is game 3, part 3. So I've not really made a video on this game for a bit, so there's been a lot of moves since then. This was the Alien Gambit, and that's why this pawn is missing from black. He's had to move his king back. We're actually a piece up in the Alien Gambit, simply because he fell into this trap of very natural pinning of the knights to the queen, which is something that's common in a lot of openings and ideas. But in the Alien Gambit, moving the knight actually checks the king, which then is also attacking the bishop. So we have two attackers on that bishop. So he has to move the king, and there we go. So he could have traded that back, but it's protected by the queen. He doesn't. We play the bishop out. We're looking at all of these kind of squares. We're looking to castle here. So yeah, he plays the pawn to a5. I'm thinking if I didn't play the pawn to a3, this is the escape route for the light square bishop. I believe his plan was to do something. Let's say I was to castle here. His plan would be to push this and then win this situation maybe, which wasn't the end of the world. We could have actually moved it forward. It just doesn't feel right to have the bishop that far up. So we just made a safe route for that bishop in case we needed it. He then hits the knight with the pawn. You think, okay, let's just sacrifice it then. I mean, you could have put it here. He trades, you take with the pawn, he takes with the queen, and we're forced to move the king. And then now we also have the king in the middle of the board exposed that can't castle. So if sacrifice with that knight, we're then able to castle. Now we have this idea with the rook. Straight down the middle, which we do. He moves to the side, great. This is kind of annoyingly defended now. We want to get the queen to go here and then here, and then that's checkmate. But okay, so he's looking at this battery ram thing. I think I said in the video there was debates. I'm sure on part 2 I already did all this debate of whether to put the pawn here, but I thought he could push this and then trade, and then this is also super annoying. So we only did it one square. He actually never even played this, so yeah, we just moved that to the square we opened. Okay. Closes that off. I don't like this now. This is, if he was to play the bishop into here, it will check. We can then move the king, but we can't close the cage. Closing the cage, with the bishop here, because he can just start to take it with the pawn. And then we end up with a very open position for the king. So we play the queen here. We're threatening checkmate on this square, but it's still guarded by the queen. So we don't really have a good way of moving the queen either, unfortunately. Plays the knight here, which is blocking this diagonal, and it's just really annoying. Push the pawn. So this is blocking the light square bishop for now, but we can also just push the pawn up another square later. Yeah, I thought this is just annoying. It could go here, and then it's just forcing pieces to move. I don't really want to move the queen, so dark square bishop isn't doing a lot. Let's just get rid of it. And then we're just threatening that checkmate here again if he was to move his queen. Now we are forced to move the queen. And yeah, so he's just guarding the bishop. Don't really know why, because we can't really threaten that anyway. I suppose it frees up his queen to move. So we're threatening to take this to check, but we're just getting this rook into play here. He's guarding it with his queen, creating this pressure on this diagonal. We could also have gone here. He's threatening to trade queens. or really just threatening my queen. We don't want to take this pawn. It's guarded by 2 protectors. We can't really put the rook here because it would be taken by the black rook. Forced to move the queen, really annoyingly. That was a bit random. I suppose there's thoughts of placing the rook here to then attack that pawn. I guess that's why he moved to here. He can't really get this into play effectively. We could have put it here and attacked this pawn, which would maybe have been better. I mean, I suppose we could just push that up. You obviously can't put it next to the king because it's just going to be... well, it's protected by the queen as well, but there's some like trades going on there that would not work out for him. So I'll play the bishop here. We've given up on this plan of getting the queen on that square at this point. The queen is nowhere near being able to... It can't even get there in 2 moves, right? So... yeah, we'll force the queen to move. So now we're back in a position we were a few moves ago before he moved his queen down. So we could push the rook here, right? Or really we can get the queen to move into this line as well. We can't take that f6 pawn yet. We could get a rook to this position. That would potentially just move his queen around a bit more. So his queen's going to have to go to like here or here. But it doesn't help us attack too much. Yeah, I'm not sure. Is the play to do this? You wouldn't trade all that, I don't think. I mean, that is actually the same value, right? We could have placed the queen here. And then that whole sequence is now better with the trades. I think that is the line to go for.